Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. This is Kimberly from Journal Breeze. Today we're going to do the final flip through on the folio. Yes, we finally finished it. This has been such a joy to work on for me and to share it with you. It's kind of bittersweet that it's over, but I truly love it, and I have added some trims and different things inside you haven't seen, but I intend to make this a quick flip through so that you can take the opportunity to see it. So you can see that I've added this beautiful sparkle, what I see as a star, to the top, and I laid it in the middle of this upper calligraphy design, and I think it just adds so much. And then I wanted to hold it together with this gold. Oh, I was going to put glue on the end of each one. Hold on a moment. Let me just do that. This tends to come apart if you don't do it. Okay. Let's see. This is art glitter glue, and it dries clear. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And after I glue it, I cut it so that the shape is equal on both sides as much as possible anyway. Okay, make sure it's stopped. Okay, great. All right, so with no further ado, let's unwrap this. This is the tag for the front. And I kept the back blank for writing. And then this I added over some writing actually, so that it would show better on the other side. So when I have this sticking out the way that I want it to, let's see, it's kind of a tight squeeze in there because I made this writing board out of the file folder. So this is how I want it to look, and then this shows up here. That's the overall look. And then the tag here was the one I put together on a background paper, added a tag, cut the top to fit the background paper, and cut the cross out, which was a necklace. And this is another paper from the kit, from the paper cameo. And then we have our inside. As you can see, I added these beautiful, they're daisies really, but that gold, you know, fake sparkly gemstone thing just was so perfect, I thought, with the gold that's kind of scattered here. And then I also added another star over here to balance out the daisies. It's hard to see on camera. It's like the front piece. It's all pearls, not the golden star. And they are all added to a stitched background. I mean, I purchased this. I certainly didn't make it. But this and this are the same, but this is in all pearls, fake of course, and this is in the sparkly gemstone. So I thought that, I just loved being able to use these. I've had them for a long time in my stash. And I was thrilled, and I just feel like they just balanced out this incredible center since I figured out how to make the pocket. Yes, I figured it out after I shot the last video where I said, please help. I waited a little while, and then I thought, I'm just going to try to figure this out. So I did, and I'm super excited. So let me just show you the sides first. I mean, you've seen this, and then this one, I added this oh, that was to show you that this is a belly band. Yeah. So this was a belly band I added, and I liked the black that was coming into play. The black here, the black shadow here, the gray, the black font. I liked that, and I wanted this border to show, so of this beautiful tag. I think this is from Ruby and Pearl, and I had made this a long, long time ago. Oh, it gets so washed out when I bring it close to the camera. And I put in the center another paper from Ruby and Pearl, and then I glued it down on this card so that, and yet I love this bird. This is from Ida Jane Designs. I love the bird and didn't really want to cover it up, but ultimately I liked it from this angle. The font, everything. There was just a lot of black. And so there we go. I hope you like that. I hope you think it was worth the wait. And I just couldn't be happier. I love it. I think I'm going to lay it open somewhere for a while to really use it, to write on it, and to play with it. This I love as well. You haven't seen the underneath part very many times. I wish this had been longer, but I already used it up. And love this. It's just one piece of paper. I think it's Ida Jane also. And then this was a die cut I did. This is fabric. So I'm really happy with the outcome. Whoops. Let me see if I can get this to, there we go. So now let's get to our, oh, there's a tag in here, of course. What am I thinking? Okay. Yes, this is the tag I made, Souvenir de la France. I added these two pieces of fabric, but everything else is printed on here. It's in one of her kits, and it's just beautiful. So, if you want to get it. And this is also Souvenir de la France, and another one of her kits. And then I made a tag. I thought about leaving it out like this, but I don't think it fits in the whole pocket, and the blue didn't go. And I made this from a beautiful tag and put cut out pieces from a chintz that emulates a, oh gosh, what year was it emulating? Early 1800s, late perhaps 1700s, but I think it's early 1800s with this blue. So just loved it and really wanted to use it. And there was other blues I wanted to use, but there wasn't really much of an opportunity. Things kind of got sucked up with the red and the gray as I went along. And so I stuck it in there so I would be able to see it, but it wouldn't really draw the eye away too much. Love how that looks tucked in there. Whoops. There we go. Okay. All right, so now the pocket. The pocket. Look at, I want to show you on the bottom. It so happened that when I completely folded the lace around, these heavy-duty points filled the bottom. And that's what made it possible for me. Plus, I rounded every corner of every card, top and bottom. And I also didn't want to cover up this beautiful belly band. So it folded in half, and I glued it down, which I'll get to, behind, and I glued down these sides. I ran a ribbon through the back. It perfectly wove through the back lace, and it's been great ever since. It holds just fine, and it's a thick one. So happy with it. So happy. The back, interestingly, when I put in this ribbon and I had to make the holes to do that, I completely forgot that this paper was whole inside, and so there was no way to get it out unless I took off the ribbon. But at the time that I first saw that I had done that, I didn't even realize that. I just know that the paper was sticking out so that it would show, and I ended up putting the eyelet through the paper. It was so funny when I turned it over and realized that. So I took a little scissors and I cut around it. And then I took it out completely and I did a prettier punch. And then I put it back in, and then when I put the ribbon in, I realized, oh my gosh, I've got to cut this paper in half so that this side can pull out and this side can pull out. So I will do that eventually, but I didn't want to do it right then. All right, so now to the middle. Love this color ribbon. It's the last of it. I don't have any more. Got it from On Hand Papers. And beautiful composition. I put together several different papers to build it up. Added to the side, added to the top, and this will be for writing. This, I added these cute, more, I feel like they're personal touches, but this isn't my family. And this is a belly band. So as time goes on, I might want to fill that. And I did a little Paris stamp here at the bottom. I don't think you can see it very well. There you go. And a Christmas tree stamp. Of course, glued this on top of here, and then this is a Boho Daydreams Sheila. That's where I got that. Although it was probably 5 or 6, 7 years ago now. I wanted to use this stamp. That's kind of primarily what got me to put this down here, was to use this darling stamp, but I didn't really want to glue it down. And then the back, all one piece, beautiful. Miss Violet Vintage, or Miss Vintage Violet, Miss Violet Vintage. This is also Miss Violet Vintage. This is Lydia's Raindrop Lila. This is beautiful. I love black and white etchings. This is from, these pieces are from Ruby and Pearl XO, last year's prayer kit. This is a beautiful image I had in my own collection from Italy, from a museum there. Just love that halo. Beautiful picture. But I wanted this trim to show because I think it really finishes the page. I glued this is part of the paper, but then I cut this out of another one and glued it down here, and I cut this out of another one and glued it over here to kind of balance it all out. And then I put this in here with a little red tab so that this pretty trim would still show. And I added this wonderful picture. I liked how she was bent, like looking like, oh, what's to come? And I added this stamp, and this is to Ruby and Pearl XO as well. I chose it because of the date. This is Souvenir de la France, one of her newer kits. This is pieced. Quite a few people are in here. Paper Cameo, Raindrop Lila, Souvenir de la France, Ruby and Pearl, Chapter 1 Papers, Paper Cameo, and scrapbook paper, and then this delightful ruffle, which is an ode to Dodie Williams, and the velvet. I was happy to get that in there. I just thought it was very sweet. I love these sisters. I call them sisters. Little Women is what they remind me of. But in the kit with Souvenir de la France, they're not referenced that way. But they just look like it to me, although there's 4 sisters. And then more writing space. And this is mostly Ruby and Pearl, Ida Jane Designs, Ruby and Pearl, Ida Jane, Ida Jane. And I just love the mother. You know, this isn't the only mother and child duo, right? We all have that experience, even if it's not our own children. We have relatives. And I just wanted to pay ode to all of the mother and children at this time of year, not just the one that Christmas is supposed to demarcate. I added this to the bottom. And yeah, I love this. I love this. It was hard to cover it up, but I couldn't see any other way to kind of get these all to work out if I didn't. So that's why that's there. But I love it. And then this back is from the Graphics Fairy premium site. All one piece. I didn't do a thing but brown the corners, or brown the edges. Oops. And then this one, I don't think you've seen. I put pictures out on Instagram, but I don't think you've seen it. I've clipped it to the plain board that was just for writing so that it wouldn't slip down and just add more bulk to the bottom. So I will leave it clipped, but this is just for writing. This is an old toile paper I had. Can you see that? And then this is also for writing, but I cut out individual strips from Souvenir de la France's various textile salesmen's cards. And I loved the neutrality. I just thought it was beautiful. This is from the paper Cameo and lace design, and so is this whole background. So I loved it. I just loved it because I love these images. I like the lace backgrounds. This just appeals to me all the time. And then these are from Rachel, background kit, and I'm going to use them to write in there as well. This is from the paper Cameo's Cameo and lace package. And then this delightful edge, this is stamped fabric with stamp pools, and I put it on top of a Chapter 1 paper, and I added one of their Christmas greetings. I thought the coloring was beautiful with this, green. And this is, well, look at, these are completely different kits. This is Oldacina, and yet it's got that green feel. This all is green. And I just thought it went beautifully. And I love this photo. So I was happy with that. I also like how this came up above it and how some of the writing showed below. Just those little details really tickle me. And then this is another one you haven't seen done yet. Here maybe you can see the sparkle. There's a lot of sparkle. Here. And it was very difficult to get that sparkle to show up in an Instagram photo, or even the photo I put on my community tab. I do post to my community tab with some regularity, so I'll show after pictures I think more often there when I don't complete them in the video. So check it when you come by. Click on that and you'll see. But I added a netting to the top to just, I don't know, add a little sophistication maybe. And then I built up these edges as I said I would with the distress. I have about 4 pieces of music paper under there. And I think the angel is from Ruby and Pearl. I think this is from Rachel, not sure. And I'm not going to look it up, so don't ask. But love the back. This is from Lydia's kits on Raindrop Lila. And it's so perfect. I had to lay it out like this, but it's gorgeous. I could do every card this way and then decorate the inside. That's how much I love these swags. And the bow, you know, my favorite images. And then this is glued to the back to give it support and stability. It's Ida Jane Designs. And this is how I did the, I told you I wove the satin ribbon through these. It was perfect. It was meant to be woven. The lace was meant to have something woven through it. So doing that, it gave me a lot of surface to glue it down. And it just, the folding in half was perfect. And I feel like that balance, you know, made it a very viable way. And then I had to round every corner. And I put in a few at a time so that they get totally down there. Oh, and then this, of course, ties in the back, which I showed you. And let's see, let's get a few more of these in here. Pull this up. And then the last of it. And there you go. Isn't that nifty? Ah, I couldn't be more excited about it. I plan to use that idea again. And I just loved working on this folio. Something about this size of these 9.5 boards was just so super appealing to me. More appealing than working in a tall junk journal. I don't know why exactly. Oh, because they're so narrow. 4.5, 4.25, or 4 for the tall tall journals. You know, high and then super narrow. I really love working on this wider. I could probably make a tall one wider. I think that's what I'll try, because those narrow ones, I've made a few now, and I'm just always wanting to have them be wider. It's just the truth of the matter for me. So I think I'm going to try making taller and wider. So that's it, my friends. It's been such a pleasure being with you on this excursion into overcoming perfectionism, overcoming procrastination. The tips that I gave in the last one on overcoming procrastination are truly applicable to anything that you're procrastinating on. Work, schoolwork, projects around the house. It's just that I wanted to speak to crafters, but they really will work for anything. So if you have an issue with that, take a peek. I mostly talked about it nearest the end. I actually stopped crafting for like the last 10 minutes or so and just finished up the tips. So if you just want to scoot through and listen to that, like I'd say, at least half of it at the end is about procrastination, and then really towards the very end. And if they're helpful to you, let me know. And thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your wonderful comments and for enjoying my choices and for your feedback on your ideas. I just really enjoyed this so much. So I'm wishing you very happy holidays, and I will see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.